What do you do, ski guys? Guess what we're going to dive into? All right, this has been a thing that that has been a very big subject in bass fishing over the last really last few years, and it's forward-facing sonar. You guys know last year I went and ran all three brands, Garmin, Lowrance, and Humminbird. This year I swapped to an ActiveTarget, and the ActiveTarget over Garmin Live Scope. You guys saw the video. You saw firsthand what was up. I will say that I have dialed in the ActiveTarget a little bit more over the year, beginning of the year, and that was first thing. So I've really had the opportunity to spend a half of a year tournament bass fishing with ActiveTarget on my boat. I know everybody wants me to tell you which one's better, all this stuff. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to tell you personally that over a half of a year, I've been super impressed with a lot of the things to ActiveTarget. The distance is probably numero uno. I can see out a long ways. I can see out 80, 90, 100 feet. I can actually see a brush pile a lot of times at 100 feet. A stump, isolated piece of cover. I mean, I've seen fish out there 90 to 100 feet. So that is something that's very unique, I will say. But I will say this. There is no perfect forward-facing sonar. I'll be honest with you right now. There is none that I'm sitting there, at least for me. Now I heard down this is the only thing, okay, that I've heard. There's Mega 360 Live or Mega Live. I don't know a whole lot about it. It seems like it's taken a long time for it to get out, so I don't know. I would hope it would be pretty good, but I've not seen any images of it. I've not seen any video of it, so I can't comment. At this point in time, I cannot tell you what that looks like. I'm telling you right now, ActiveTarget, for me, the advantages of it for me overall, if there was 5 things that I look at, it's really good. It's a really good deal, and this is the thing. Before I dive into all that, there's really a couple different things I look for. Okay, clarity is one. Okay, clarity is one. Seeing distance is another. Being able to see the fish, in that sort of comboed, because sometimes you can see the fish to a certain distance because they're smaller, and then you can see cover, or big stumps or rocks further because it's a bigger piece of, a bigger piece or obstruction or a bigger piece of cover out there further out. It's going to be able to really reflect. So I will say that over the year, I've really been able to utilize. There's times that I've seen the advantages from ActiveTarget that were by far better than Panoptix, way better in several things. And there's things that I would say about Panoptix, because it is a narrower cone, that I don't like as much as Panoptix. Again, there is no perfect one, but I'm very pleased with it. I think it does a phenomenal job. I think Lowrance did a very good job with it. And they're both a little bit different. So if you're a Lowrance user and that's what you like, I like their side scan, I like their down scan a lot, I like their waypoint management, then I would suggest ActiveTarget. If you're a Garmin guy, and that's what you like, then you roll with your Panoptix. I mean, that is what it is. But for me, obviously, you guys know I've used it for several. I've used a Lowrance units for a long time. I understand their processing. I understand their units a lot better, and I get certain things about them. I really help me find more fish, and that's why I run that product. I run a Humminbird. A Humminbird's the same thing, but I have a lot of confidence in those products, and that's why I run what I have on my boat. Now, going into something that I get asked all the time. Okay, you see me using. I started my boat this year. With a Lowrance Ghost, fished with it for a little bit, swapped to an Ultrex, then swapped back to a Lowrance Ghost, and now I'm swapped back to an Ultrex. I'm not having, this is the thing, I know there's a lot of people that are trying to understand why, what's going on, what's happening. Really all it is like, I like a Lowrance Ghost as far as the motor itself, from my personal opinion and what I've used. I like how quiet it is. I like how strong it is. It doesn't, I can go further on a Lowrance Ghost than I can on an Ultrex. I think it's 10% or 15% better on power on your batteries. So there's things like that that I really like about the Ghost. The main reason why you see an Ultrex on my boat is because the Lowrance ActiveTarget has a narrower beam. And so it all comes down to electronics, it does. And so basically I can be a little bit more pinpointing, I can pinpoint, and I've been used to it, I can pinpoint with that Ultrex, it doesn't have as much play. So I can really, and that's a big key because of that narrower beam, where like Panoptix has a wider beam. For me, it's a bigger deal because now I can pan over there and I have a smaller cone, I have a smaller, area where I have to be able to make that cast. So that is the only reason that you see an Ultrex on my boat right now, because that's what I'm sort of used to. But I still swap back and forth because I'm actually swapping them out myself. It takes a little bit of time, but I definitely swap them back and forth. And that's something that I sort of use both of them to an advantage. I mean, if I got a tournament that I'm going to be running down the bank and trying to cover a lot of water, there's an advantage with the Lowrance Ghost because I can get further, longer. If I feel like it's going to be an electronics tournament, or I feel like it might be a forward-facing sonar tournament, I'll swap it back and forth. So that's the reason behind it. But long story short, I'm very impressed with the ActiveTarget. Like I said, there is nothing that I'm going to say there's a perfect, oh my gosh, this one's better than this one. They both have their advantages. And I'm not gonna, and I think it really comes down to whatever you have. You're not gonna go to Garmin and be like, I'm way better off at Garmin, and you're not gonna go to Lowrance and be like, they both have their advantages. There's gonna be times that maybe one outperforms the other, but they're very minuscule. The amount that I'm talking about, advantages wise, it's not gonna be a ton. So again, if you're in love with the Lowrance and you love Lowrance units, stick with the Lowrance unit. If you're in love with your Garmin units and that's what you enjoy and that's what you love and you understand, stick with Garmin. As simple as that. It's easy. I do not know. I will give you guys an update. If I see if I get it a little bit of time to spend using the Live 360 or whatever, I've heard some stuff about it. Truthfully, this is the thing I know about, okay? I know they had an issue with a couple different things. They had them for pre-order in February. Obviously, something was not right. Something was not up to par, so they had to take more time, which I recommend. I really got to commend them. If they realized it wasn't good, they didn't push it out. So the biggest thing is going to be seeing, I heard it's a wider beam, so that's going to be interesting to see as well. I'm interested to see, because I feel like right now, Garmin and Lowrance, personally in my opinion, are neck and neck. I don't know if it's going to be like, hey, is Lowrance or is Humminbird stuff going to be, subpar? Is it going to be about the same, or is it going to be unbelievable? I don't know. We're all going to have to find out. So I do know this. I do know that ultimately what I just told you, stick with what you guys enjoy, stick with what you have faith in and what you have confidence in, and you're going to be fine. I appreciate you guys following along. And that is my update. I can't really, if you have some questions, I'll try to answer them on the questions below. So drop a comment. I'm just trying to be straight up and transparent with you all, because you guys are my fault. You guys are my fans, my friends. You're my family. And I love having that interaction with you and keeping you guys up to date. And so, like, literally someone texted me today, a good friend of mine texted me, said, man, Lowrance or Panoptix? And I said, man, it just really depends on what you're doing. I said, there's not a perfect answer. So that is my answer for you. I'm sorry if I complicated things. I'm just telling you, personally, that's how I feel. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Drop a comment below. If I get a chance to, on the busy schedule, I will try to answer it. Thank you guys so much for following along. I'll see you all next time.